Hey y'all, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for joining me. Today is Sunday, February 21st. It has been several days since I picked up the camera. I've just been very symptomatic and dealing with really intense pain levels and just extremely busy with all of these doctors and all the health stuff. So I want to start by talking about the allergist because that's kind of where we left off. So I was very excited to be seeing a new allergist. I had given the office all of the information over the phone that I'm a medically complex patient and a list of my diseases. I told them I failed Xolair, and the doctor agreed to see me, and obviously in hopes of helping me, or so I thought. So I get to the office. I was having, y'all, the worst morning. I didn't sleep well. Well, let me back up for a second. So the day before, I started having my movement disorder act up a lot. So my neck was doing just like that, kinda, except for it was for 24 hours that every few seconds my neck was moving, which, as you can imagine, gets very painful after a while, and it becomes exhausting and draining, and it's just taxing mentally because you have no control over this movement, and this movement is quite obnoxious, to be honest. And unfortunately, it kept waking me up that night. So following morning, it's time to get up. I just did not want to get up. It was freezing, which totally doesn't help my movement disorder. It doesn't always trigger the cold, but sometimes the cold does make it worse. And that particular day, it was making it much, much worse. So I got to the office. It was quite empty, which I was like, okay, a little bit of a red flag. And then I also saw a nurse walking around in circles because she's bored. So again, red flag, a little bit weird, but okay, let's not jump to conclusions, obviously. So I finally get to the back, and I realized they're not taking me to an exam room. They're taking me to the doctor's office, which is not typical, but again, try not to jump to any conclusions, open mind and try to be as positive as possible, even though your pain is through the roof and you just really don't want to be there. And again, it's freezing. I don't know if they had a problem with their heat. It was freezing outside, it was freezing inside, and even colder in her office. So totally did not help. And the temperature in her office did end up triggering a lot of my movement disorder and stuff, which was super obnoxious and annoying. It's really embarrassing too, if you know what I mean. I know people would be like, oh, well, you have no control over it. You don't need to be embarrassed. If you're sitting there moving like a maniac and you can't control it, you're gonna feel embarrassed. It's just human nature, to be honest. So this doctor takes one look at my illness list, barely even gets through half the diseases, and goes, well, I obviously can't help you. You're way too medically complex. Y'all, I was not in a good mood. I was having such a bad day, and I said something. I was like, well, I understand where you're coming from. However, I was extremely upfront with your office, and they talked to you and you agreed to see me. You told me I needed to come see you in the office. Apparently that wasn't true. I was like, we could have done this over the phone. So, but don't worry, it gets better. Obviously, it always gets better, right? Sorry about that. I just wanted to grab my sweater because I'm feeling chilly, which I'm sure will change any moment because got, a little bit of temperature regulation issues going on, a little bit of everything issues going on, I feel like, recently. And don't mind me scratching like a maniac, my muscles are just super angry, which I'm sure you can imagine, since I'm on my own with this at the moment, trying to figure it all out. At least that's how I feel. So this doctor, though, just completely tells me, I just wanted to meet you, basically. She's never met anybody as complex with mast cell activation syndrome as myself, or as sick as I am. She was able to tell from the phone call that I'm an extremely sick individual, and she just wanted to meet me. Usually, I would be like, I don't even know. I was gonna say, usually I'd be okay with that, but that day I was just having a really awful day. But at the same time, I feel like that's kind of really inconsiderate and kind of made me feel like a guinea pig, to be honest. I felt like, oh, she just wants, to hear my story, for what? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily think that her hearing my story would educate her any, or I guess like maybe it would educate her, but I'm not really sure if she would be able to like utilize any parts of my story like to help another individual, because obviously my story is just a mess at the moment and you don't have control or treatment, and that's what obviously I was seeking, was a little bit of help. So, I mean, I even asked her, I was like, well, wouldn't you even be willing just to like look at my antihistamines and tell me like if I need to switch up, like say from Allegra to like a sister drug or something, you know what I mean? And she was like, no, I'm not even willing to do that. At the end of the day, she was willing to recommend 2 doctors, one of which who knew nothing about mast cell. The other one I need to still call, but I just had to obviously give myself some time to decompress from that appointment because it was really stressful. Like I said, I did feel a little bit like a guinea pig, unfortunately. It was just a really, really awful experience. And she was telling me one of the other doctors who I have been recommended so highly by like all these physicians that, oh my gosh, you have to go to her. She's like the top person, blah, blah, blah. She tells me she sent a patient there who, again, not as sick as me, but was kind of sick, kind of complex. This lady that I saw in Middletown has seen maybe 5 or 10 mast cell patients, and they have been very, very, very mild. So this other girl is around my age, whatever that means. So she was like, oh, I sent this girl there and this doctor is just so underpaid. And she begins to tell me, though, that this doctor, who, by the way, charges a few $100 every few minutes, does not stay in the room with her patient the entire time. Every single appointment, every 5 to 15 minutes, the woman is on her phone texting, answering a phone call, or leaving the room and like doing something else, doing other paperwork. That's not okay, I'm sorry. And then you have the audacity to tell me she's not making enough money? That's why the insurance company does not want to pay her, because she's not staying in there with patients. Now, if there's an emergency, I totally understand that, and there's totally grace for that, and I can be patient. But to just run in and out every appointment, that is a problem, at least for me. So I was like, you know what, I don't think we would have been a very good fit, because at the end of the day, too, she was telling me the other patient, again, less complex than myself, had spent 3 to 5 hours with the woman. I'm not in any condition to do that. Like, seriously, to travel there, then spend 3 to 5 hours with her. That's not including the time in the waiting room. So that wouldn't work anyways, like just for so many different reasons. So at the end of the day, I am currently with my same allergist for the time being. I've tried to get into an additional 2 to 3 allergists and an immunologist, and those I failed. Like, we were not able to get anywhere. Most of them, it is an insurance issue. Like I've shared before, a lot of them just don't want to take insurance. It is what it is, unfortunately. Like, I can't make somebody take insurance. I have, I believe, 1 or 2 other names at this point. I am going to ask my primary care physician about it, but honestly, I have so much to talk to my primary care physician about, guys. Like, I have an emergency appointment with her tomorrow, but I'm like, I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to talk, basically. I have so much to go over. Yeah, so we're also concerned that I might have an infection, and then I have like a blood pressure concern and a pain concern. So, yeah. But with the mast cell, everything is literally the same. I am still reacting like a maniac. We're concerned at this point that I might be developing some sort of nut allergy, it seems. Not happy about that, obviously, because I just keep cutting more and more and more foods out of my diet. Right now, I am able to shower every few days. I would say probably about 2 to 3 times a week total. Somebody did ask me about my showering routine with mast cell. I am highly allergic to showering. If I just were to like go shower now, I would completely go into a severe reaction. It would either be like super severe or anaphylactic. Those are my only 2 options, like if I just go in. So my symptoms are from just showering. My throat closes. I get tightness in my chest. My tongue swells. I get blisters throughout the mouth and on the tongue. I'm just trying to like think of everything. I do get a little bit dizzy, difficulty breathing, wheezing sometimes, and then I usually have a rash or a rash and hives, and obviously some itching. So with all that being said, I do pre-medicate to shower because that's what I gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do because everybody needs a shower, right? And I mean, bath wipes are wonderful, but they're only so good. You know what I mean? Like, you need a real shower. So before every shower right now, I take 2 Allegra, and I also take a Lazarus CBD, which I'll actually show you because it's over here. So this is specifically what I'm taking, and I can put the link to this down in the description for y'all. Hopefully that picks it up. So I just take a tiny bit of this before my shower, and I'll show you in another video, like the next time I shower. I'll take a clip of specifically how much I take, because I kind of eyeball it, to be honest. It's kind of hard to verbally explain. So that is how I currently shower, and then I believe I've said this before, but my mother is always in the next room. Her bathroom is attached to her bedroom. So she stays in the bedroom, I'm in the bathroom, and she'll bring my walker in once I'm in the shower because I have a lot of balance issues, and that's preventing me usually from falling after showering because, again, so many balance issues. I can do a video like explaining the bathroom accommodations I have because I do have a lot because of my mobility and balance issues. As far as Mast though, I do shower with a bunch of meds like on the windowsill because that is the closest like thing out, like ledge or whatever outside the shower, so I could like grab it if I have to, like in the shower basically. So on that ledge though, I keep liquid Benadryl, liquid Allegra, regular Benadryl is in my bag, and then I have my inhaler. I bring the CBD. I'm not really sure if that helps any, like in an emergency. Probably not in an emergency, but maybe like for inflammation or something, you know, that's kind of how I view it. I'm trying to think. Ugh, the brain fog. And then I, of course, have my EpiPen. I'm not really supposed to take the Epi. Y'all know it's like this whole big thing. It's supposed to be where I'm in the car and then take it. Ideally 10 minutes from the hospital, but I mean, that's not a great plan. And I don't know if I said this, but I do have my inhaler. Inhaler is very, very, very important. And then like in my room and stuff, I have like my blood pressure cuff, I have my steroid injection and other meds. So that's currently how I shower from a mast cell activation syndrome perspective. So like I said, basically right now I'm reacting like it's my job very, very, very frequently. So obviously not much we can do about that. And if the Theo is here, which I'm gonna update you more on Theo in a little bit, that would cause the mast cell to be very angry. Regardless of how you slice it, Theo here, Theo not, the mast cell's ticked off. That's the bottom line, you know what I mean? And there's not much I can do. My hands are really tied until I can get another physician on my case, so we're working on that. Okay, so this is my mast cell update for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'll see you soon.